everyone. For today's video, we will talk about the patterns in the nature and the examples of patterns and surrounding. By the way, I'm Alin Dale Rosero from BA Ed Section 1I. So, let us all know what is pattern in nature. So, pattern in nature are visible regularities of form found in the natural world. So, there are different types of patterns such as fractal, symmetry, spiral, Charles, waves, and etc. So now, I will show to you the first example of pattern, which is fractals. But before I show it to all of you, let me tell you what is fractals. So, fractals is a kind of pattern that we observe often in nature and in art. As Binwise explained, whenever you observe a series of patterns repeating over and over again at many different scales, and where any small part resembles the whole, that's a fractal. So here's some example of fractals.
So I have one example of fractals. This is what we call elephant ear plant.
So let's proceed to another example, which is symmetry. So before I show to you the example of symmetry, let me tell you what is symmetry. So symmetry is a design or pattern that is identical on both halves when folded. So symmetrical patterns can have multiple lines of symmetry. A line of symmetry can be vertical, diagonal, or horizontal. It is also called the mirror line or axis of symmetry. So these are the fivefold symmetry example.
So this is the example of fivefold symmetry. So this plant is what we call yellow angels.
So let's proceed to third example of pattern, which is spiral. So before the example, let me tell you what is spiral. So spiral is a convex pattern that focuses on the center point and series of circular shapes that resolve around it. So we have some example of spirals here.
So this is the example of spiral. This example is what we call worm.
And now let's proceed to the fourth example of pattern, which is Charles. So we have some example of Charles, but let me tell you what Charles is. So Charles is the theory states that under certain conditions or the regular patterns can be seen to arise out of random and turbulent process. So Charles theory helps us to understand nature's system. It has been used to model biological systems, which are some of the most chaotic systems imaginable. So we have some example of Charles here.
So this tree is one of the example of Charles pattern in our nature.
Lastly, I will show you the last example of pattern, which is wave. So waves are disturbances that carry energy as they move. Wind waves are created as wind passes over a large body of water, creating pattern or ripples. When wind passes over and it creates downs and forms a range of pattern as well. So we also have example of waves here.
So this picture is example of wave pattern in nature. And another example of wave pattern.
So this is the end of my video. I hope all of you have learned something of my video. So thank you all and God bless.